It started slowly, almost imperceptibly. At first, I thought she was just tired, stressed from work, or going through one of those phases couples inevitably hit after years together. But soon, it became undeniable. My wife, Emma, was refusing intimacy altogether, not just occasionally. Months, entire months. At first, I tried to reason with her. "Is something wrong?" I'd ask softly, trying to be gentle, understanding, not accusatory. She'd shrug, sigh, or mutter something about being busy, exhausted, or not in the mood. I tried not to take it personally. I wanted to believe it was temporary, that life had just caught up with her. But as the weeks turned into months, the pattern became impossible to ignore. She would flinch at my touch, roll her eyes when I tried to hold her, or find excuses to leave the room when I tried to get close. Nights that used to be ours became silent, lonely stretches of me staring at the ceiling while she slept beside me, physically present but emotionally distant. I felt invisible, unwanted, rejected in the home we had built together. I began to notice little things too, the texts she sent when I was home but ignored me, the time she spent scrolling on her phone instead of talking to me, the faint scent of perfume that wasn't mine. I tried to ignore it, convince myself I was imagining things, but the emptiness between us grew like a shadow I couldn't shake. I tried everything to fix it. I planned date nights, booked weekends away, bought gifts, even wrote her letters expressing how much I loved her and missed our closeness. I thought maybe she was just stuck in routine, just needed to feel appreciated again. But nothing worked. Every gesture was met with polite acknowledgement, but no warmth, no affection, no intimacy. It hurt, not just physically, but in a way that seeped into every corner of my life. I felt like a ghost in my own marriage. Then one evening, after another quiet dinner, she suddenly spoke. "Ryan." I looked up from my plate. She was hesitating, twisting her hands in her lap. Her eyes, usually confident and steady, looked small, uncertain. "Yes?" I asked, trying to mask the frustration I had carried for months. I know I've been distant," she said quietly. "I know I've hurt you." I swallowed. This was the first acknowledgement in months. "Go on," I said. She took a deep breath. I've been scared. Scared of how close we were. Scared of getting hurt. Scared of, I don't know, losing myself." I blinked, unsure what to say. "I realize now," she continued, her voice trembling, "that pushing you away, refusing intimacy, it was selfish. And I was wrong. I see how lonely I've made you feel." I felt my chest tighten, relief mixed with lingering anger. Relief that she finally admitted it. Anger at the months of rejection, at the silence, at the way I had felt invisible. I want us to be close again," she said, reaching across the table. Her hand hovered near mine, uncertain. "I want your attention. I want you. Please, Ryan." For a moment, I couldn't respond. My mind was a storm of memories. Months of cold shoulders, nights spent alone, whispers of doubt creeping in. Could I just forgive her? Could I pretend those months never happened? I wanted to. Part of me wanted to pull her into my arms and never let go. Another part of me, the part that had been hurt, the part that had felt abandoned, froze. I need to know you mean it," I said finally, my voice low. "Not just words, actions, consistency. Not just tonight, but every day. I can't go through months of nothing again." Her eyes filled with tears. "I know. I'll prove it. I swear. I've been a fool. I thought I was protecting myself, but all I did was hurt the person I love most." I nodded slowly, still hesitant, but willing to try. Because beneath the hurt, beneath the rejection, I still loved her. Still wanted her. Still wanted us. That night, we started small. A touch, a hug, a long conversation on the couch where she listened, really listened, for the first time in months. No pressure, no expectation, just presence. The next day, she left notes on my pillow. Small gestures, making my coffee, leaving a text in the middle of the day just to say she was thinking of me. She noticed the little things I liked, started asking me questions, genuinely engaging again. It wasn't instant. The months of distance had left a mark, and trust needed time to rebuild. But slowly, the warmth returned. Nights became shared again. We laughed, teased, and held each other like we used to, rediscovering the closeness we had lost. I realized something in those weeks. Intimacy isn't just physical. It's emotional. It's presence. It's acknowledgement. Months of avoidance had shown me how fragile connection can be, how easy it is to take love for granted. And her begging for my attention, her vulnerability, reminded me that sometimes people need a wake-up call to see what they've been pushing away. She hadn't cheated. She hadn't been unfaithful. But the emotional withdrawal felt like a betrayal. And in that betrayal, I found clarity. Love requires effort, attention, and respect. Neglect can wound just as sharply as dishonesty. By the time the month was over, we were not perfect, but we were present. We were noticing each other again. Her words, her tears, her efforts, they weren't enough to erase the past entirely, but they were a start. And that night, as we lay together, her head on my chest, I finally allowed myself to believe that we could heal, that attention and effort could repair the fracture. She whispered, almost ashamed, "I'm sorry for taking so long to see it." I kissed her forehead. "Just don't ever let it go this far again. We can't survive silence like that." She nodded, holding my hand tightly. And for the first time in months, I felt seen, wanted, and most importantly, hopeful.